Hello fellow duelists and Yu-Gi-Oh enthusiasts, my name is Meta Bro Jake and I represent the clique, the squad, the crew, the super meta bros. And today I bring you the deck that can put a stop to the Dragoons in an upcoming set, he's coming, and that is also my all-time favorite archetype, the Toons.
Welcome, Kaiba, to Toon World!
Look at these beauties right here. Inside, some sleeves from my friends over at Dragon Shield. Looks simply amazing. Check that out. Before the deck profile begins, I have a message to the viewers that are watching this video. No matter what situation that you may be in, don't ever let anybody tell you that you can't do it. Don't ever let anybody make you feel a certain way because of what you love to do. I say do what makes you happy and live your life the way you want. Chase your dreams and follow your instinct. Be the person that you want to be. I just wanted to say that to all the viewers out there, anybody that's going through things. I've been in some experiences too, you guys, and Yu-Gi-Oh has always helped me pull out of it. I just wanted to let anybody know out there, if you guys need anybody to talk to, please feel free to comment in the comment section below and let me know, man. I'm always here to talk to anybody. Anybody that's involved in this community, anybody that's going through any kind of problems, alright? So, that being said, let's get into the deck profile today, okay? Now, usually we go off with the monsters first. Usually that's how we do it. But today we're going with the spells since we're doing the Toon deck. So obviously, we're going with the 3 Toon Kingdom. This is the must-have. This is the nuts for the deck. This is Mando in this deck right here. You gotta run them at 3, you guys. Alright, now Toon Kingdom. The effect of Toon Kingdom, once this card's activated, you gotta banish the top 3 cards of your deck. So very small cost, very little, not too effective at all. And then also your Toon monsters, they cannot be targeted by card effects. And then when your Toon monsters, if they happen to get destroyed, you can just banish 1 card from the top of your deck instead to save them, protect them, you guys. So Toon Kingdom is definitely a must-have. It is the upgraded Toon World. So throughout this deck, if I say Toon World, I mean really Toon Kingdom, and if I say Toon Kingdom, then I really mean Toon World. So if that makes any sense at all, this is the heart and soul of the deck, the 3 Toon Kingdoms. Next card up, new support that just recently came out in the Toon Chaos set. 3 Toon Bookmarks. Definitely must have in the deck too, you guys. This card is sick. Another searcher for the deck. This card text read, add 1 Toon World or 1 card that specifically lists Toon World in its text from the deck, add it to your hand. Very nice, very simple. Also, it has a second effect. Once it's in the graveyard, you guys, you can banish it and it can save your, to protect your Toon Kingdom from destruction for 1 time. Just banish it from the graveyard. It's simply amazing. Gotta have the 3, you guys. Gotta see this as soon as possible. Next thing you guys wanna see as soon as possible, the 3 Toon Table of Contents. Now, these ones are the gold. I love the golds in my build.
I love gold. The look of it, the taste of it, the smell of it, the texture.
This card just reads, add 1 card from your deck to your hand that includes Toon in its name. Not once per turn, so very nice card to open up in multiples of, because you can just search whatever you want in the deck. Simply amazing. Next card, you guys. I know a lot of people will be surprised about this one, but I'm actually running just the 2 Toon Page Flip. This is another new support from Toon Chaos. Amazing, amazing support. But I feel that this build, this is a going second build, Toon version. You want to run 2 of these. I felt in my previous builds, I've run 3 Toon Dark Magician and 3 Toon Red Eyes, and I just felt like it was real cloggy with a lot of level 7s and a lot of, you know, just tribute monsters or summon monsters or whatever. But I just felt like this card is bestly most consistent at 2. I cut it back in this new build. I cut it back to include some new cards in it, but you guys, this card right here just brings out any 3, lets your opponent randomly choose 1 Toon monster and special summon it to the field immediately as long as Toon World is on the field or Toon Kingdom. So this card's very nice, and it's a quick play spell, so you can activate it on your opponent's turn if it's set previously. Next card we're going to go into is the 3 Pot of Extravagance. Now this is definitely must have. It's the best draw engine in the deck. We don't play Toon Mass Sorcerer, so this card is the new draw engine for the deck. You just banish up to 6 cards from your extra deck and draw 2, or banish 3 to draw 1, but this card works perfectly with the Toon deck because the Toon strategy does not rely on the extra deck. You could just banish 6 cards, draw 2, and it's like nothing happened. It just, you want your Toon monsters out on the field, and the deck relies on the Toon monsters being on the field with Toon Kingdom, so your extra deck really doesn't matter at all. Great that we got the reprint with Toon Chaos, because I was just going to get the set for the Toons anyway, but they included the extravagance, and it was a win-win for me. Next card, you guys, bear with me on this one, the 3 Lightning Storms. Now, I know these cards are very pricey right now, very pricey. And it seems like they're on the rise too, with no reprint in sight. But I acquired these at an early stage when it first came out, you guys, because we are the super meta bros. We get in line, we wait, and we get there on the first day, and we buy these cards first thing we do. That was the cheapest route. I really don't have any budget alternatives for this, but I would just say this card right here, if you have the money for it, this card's definitely at 3 right here. It's a good baiter for your opponent to bait out a negate that your opponent might have already established on the board. Otherwise, they're just going to be taking a big hit if they let this one go through. So 3 Lightning Storms, definitely must have. Also going second, got to run the 3 Twisters, Twin Twisters. Discard 1 card, pop 2 cards in your opponent's back row, or even 1 card in your back row if you absolutely have to, but you always want to hit 2 of your opponents because the back row, there is back row hate, that is a real thing, and back row can definitely hurt the deck. Even Mystic Mind, you guys, Mystic Mind gets slapped down on the field, it really puts a damper on this deck. You got to start doing some weird stuff in order to get rid of it, so this card right here just puts an end to it right away. 3 Twin Twisters. Next card. We're going into the 2 Called by the Grays because just like back row hate, just like floodgates, hand traps could hurt too. A well-placed Ash Blossom can definitely hurt you with this deck. 2 Called by the Graves to combat that, and you could even use this card as a defense card too to set on the field, and then if they have something else in the grave, another monster that they normal summon or they're gonna special summon, you just activate this card, banish it from the graveyard, and it'll negate its effects on the field, so it's pretty nice. Next card, going into the 2 Comic Hands, you guys, Comic Hand. Now, I've been recently seeing a lot of builds that have been running this at 3, and with the bookmark out, you could search this card now. So a lot of people figure that they could go into the Comic Hand, they could draw onto it, and it'll always be live, but the reality is, you guys, sometimes people have them counter-punching decks that they wait for you to pop off before they start popping off. So if you have no monsters to grab, or if you don't have Toon World or Toon Kingdom on the field, then this card's pretty much dead. I eliminated one of them. I got 2 in the deck. It's actually been working out perfectly. I top deck it when I need it, and I can search it whenever I need it. This was what kills Borreload Savage Dragon right here. You bait out one of his effects, you let him hit it off, you activate Toon Kingdom, you Comic Hand him, steal him to your side of the field, and then you have a negate. So 2 Comic Hands for search is very nice. My last spell of the deck, out of 1 of, is Terraforming. Gotta have that Toon Kingdom, first thing, first start. This is your 10th copy of Toon Kingdom here. So you gotta run the 1 Terraforming, you guys. Even though it's only at 1 right now, if it was at 3, then it'll be 3 copies of Terraforming in the deck. But since we're at 1, we get the 1. Now off to the traps. I only run 2 traps in the deck. These are my 2. The 1 Toon Briefcase and the 1 Toon Terror. Now the reason I run 1 and 1 is this is it. Toon Terror, it's a counter trap, it's good. It negates a spell trap or monster effect, but the only condition is you have to control Toon World and a Toon monster. That's the only setback to this one. This one could be searched by Toon Bookmark or Contents, Toon Table, and then this one can only be searched with Toon Table of Contents because unfortunately it does not have Toon World inside of its text, so it cannot be searched by Bookmark. But sometimes late game, you end up pulling maybe this one first, and then maybe you pull a Toon Table of Contents later on and you need some more interruption. You go with a Briefcase. Briefcase, all you need is a Toon monster on the field to shuffle one back into the deck, into your opponent's deck. So to me, it's been working out fine. The 1 and 1, you guys. Toon Briefcase, Toon Terror. Okay, now off to the monsters. Before I get into the monsters, you guys, I gotta let you know, man, that this is the card that had me hyped. I couldn't wait for this card's release, and once I heard about the effects and what it actually did, I was even more pumped. This guy right here is super meta approved, and this is the boss monster to the new Toon Strategy 2020, the 3 Toon BLS. This is a must-have in the deck at 3. His effect reads, you could special summon him from your hand by discarding up to Toon monsters from your hand or field with 8 stars or more. So that could be a combination of 2 monsters, 1 monster. You could even pitch itself. If you open up 2 copies, you could pitch itself to special summon 1 copy of it. And it does not have summoning sickness. It can beat on the first turn it's summoned. And also if you control Toon World, if this card special summoned, you can target 1 card your opponent controls and banish it once per turn. But if you activate that effect, you cannot attack the turn. So Toon BLS, he is forced to be reckoned with in this game right now, and he is the one you need to worry about. So Toon BLS, definitely staple at 3. Mando. Next card we're gonna go for, actually the next set of Toon monsters we're gonna go with the 2 Toon Dark Magicians and the 2 Red Eyes Toon Dragons. Now this card is for these 2 cards right here, or there's definitely combo for this one, but first things first, your page flip. When you activate page flip, you always want to go into one of these 3 monsters right here. When you activate the page flip though, you preferably hope your opponent chooses one of these, because these guys have effects of their own that you could utilize with the other cards that are in your hand. So Toon Dark Magician, if you could pitch another Toon card in your hand once he's summoned, and you could either special summon 1 Toon monster from the deck to the field, ignoring its summoning conditions, or you could add 1 spell or trap Toon card from your deck to your hand. Very good. There's the combo where you could special summon the BLS by pitching 1 Toon card, and that's amazing. The Red Eyes Toon Dragon, once per turn you could special summon 1 Toon monster from your hand, ignoring its summoning conditions, and which is beautiful in itself too, because if you could get Toon Red Eyes out to the field and you have a Toon Dark Magician in your hand, you could special summon the Toon Dark Magician with the Red Eyes' effect. Then you could pitch a Toon card on Dark Magician's effect to special summon a Toon BLS, so then you could have 3 beaters on the field in your first turn. It's a nice combo. You could even go into rank 7s with these 2 guys here. Very good. It opens up a lot of new territory for the Toon deck. So 2 and 2, I figure this is the best ratio. It's been working for me, and it's been the most consistent. Next Toon monster, and last and not least Toon monster, we're going into the Toon Harpy ladies, you guys. Another amazing support card from the new Toon Chaos. Her effect is if you control Toon World and another Toon monster on the field, you can special summon her from your hand, and then if you do that, you could pop 1 of your opponent's spell or trap cards on the field. It's an amazing effect, and a lot of the people that I play with, they run a lot of back row hate decks and back row decks and stuff like that, where they have back row all the time. So this card definitely comes in handy later on after you used your lightning storms and your twin twisters. You end up coming across her. It's just always good to have, just in case. So 2 of those. And you can always go into rank 4 also too. If worst case scenario, you can special summon each one and you can go into a rank 4. That's the last of the 2 monsters. So then I got 5 monsters left. The last 3, these 3 right here, you gotta play with the Toon Red Eyes. This is the 3 Blackstone of Legend. This card effect is once it's normal summon, you could tribute to special summon a Red Eyes monster from your deck to the field. So you always want to normal summon this guy, tribute him off to the Toon Red Eyes, and then if you have another Toon monster in your hand, then you can special summon him off a Red Eyes effect. It's very nice 2-card combo. As long as this effect can get through though. I know there's Ash Blossoms out there, there's Effect Veilers that can stop this. But this card's also a good baiter. If your other 4 cards on your first turn, or your other 5 cards, if you could make something happen with those, then this is a good card to bait. You normal summon him, let your opponent hit him with the hand trap, and then you just go off with all your other searches and everything. So, and worst case scenario, if his effect gets negated, you could always link him off for Link Rebo or another level 1. Just very nice effect. Run him at 3. You want to see him in your first turn. And then the last 2 monsters I play are Eater of Millions. Now, this card right here, like I said, this Toon deck's going second. You could hit the Lightning Storm, and you can't hit the monsters because it can't be destroyed by card effects, but you could hit the back row. If you leave one of them monsters up on your opponent's side of the field, you need something to get rid of them. This is the perfect answer to it right here. All you gotta do is banish 5 cards from either your extra deck, your field, or your hand to special summon him. He gains 100 attack for each face down card banished. Also, once he declares an attack, or if he's an attack involving your opponent's monster, you could banish the attacking monster face down or the monster it's battling with. So it fuels his attack, plus it just gets rid of all the pesky monsters your opponent might have. So run two Eater of Millions. And that's it for the main deck, you guys. That's 41 cards. Now going into the extra deck. Now my extra deck, starting off with the rank 7s, going into number 11, Big Eye. Gotta run 2, you guys, just in case one gets hit on Extravagance or by Eater of Millions. But this card definitely comes up. You could detach one material, you could steal an opponent target and steal an opponent's monster, but then he can't attack at the turn that he used that effect. So it's not that bad either. You steal one of the crazy monsters your opponent has and you do whatever, link it off, do whatever you gotta do with it. But the steal effect definitely comes in handy. So two Big Eyes. Next, I'm going with the 2 Red Eyes Flare Metal Dragon. Now this card's good. There's a combo with this guy. If you could get the Toon Dark Magician, the Red Eyes Toon, and the Toon BLS all out on the field, and you're attacking with all 3 of them directly, if you do the math, that's 7,900 attack. When you could go through the battle phase, you could do that. They got 100 left. You overlay the Dark Magician and the Red Eyes Toon into this, and your opponent cannot activate any cards or effects because then it'll burn them for 500 and that'll be the game. So this is the closer right here. You always want to go into this if you're trying to close it out. And then next I run the 1 Dingaling, just in case. You get Toon BLS pretty easily on the field, but sometimes you Comic Hand another level late or something and you need something to do with it. You could just overlay it into Ding. And then I got the 2 Tornado Dragons, rank 4. You got the 2 Harpy Ladies, you could go into one of these, or if you can steal one of your opponent's level 4s with Comic Hand and you need something to do with it, go into Tornado, pop the back rows. A couple rank 4s, I got the 1 Castell. Usually the effect I use is you discard the 2 materials and then shuffle 1 card back into your opponent's deck. It's pretty good, it's a target effect though. The 1 Babushka, just in case anything crazy with effects comes out, you put him in defense, negate his effects. And then the 1 Exciton Knight. Sometime when your opponent has just too much advantage, you utilize that to their disadvantage by bringing this card out. Pitch a card, destroy everything on the field to equalize it all. So the equalizer, hence. So that's pretty much it for the XYZs. Now going into the links. 2 Link Rebo. Like I said, sometimes the egg, the Blackstone Legend, sometimes he gets hit to negate his effects, so if you need something to do with them, you go into Link Rebo. Run 2 of them because you might banish them with Extravagance, 1. And then my last 3 links, run a Nightmare package. The 1 Nightmare Cerberus, the 1 Nightmare Unicorn, and the 1 Nightmare Phoenix. You guys, these are generic links. You steal monsters. If you have a lot of monsters on board, you want to make some room, just go into some generic links. Get rid of some back row, shuffle some back in the deck, destroy a special summon monster. It's all pretty good, so run that. That's it for the extra deck. Now going into the side deck. Side decks, I'm gonna go in a little bit in depth about my side deck. This is just a template. My Toon build is just a template for you guys to use off of or to build off of. Mine's a going second deck, and mainly all the cards in my deck that I use is because of the people that I play with, I play around. You know, we're the super meta bros, we're always competing, we're always trying to be number 1, so the decks that I run against, a lot of spell, back row, and that's what it is. Going second for me worked a lot better than going first. So for my side deck, first 3 you guys I'm going with, 3 Prohibition. Now, this card is amazing. This card is nutty. It's nuttier than squirrel turds. Now, the main card that hurts the Toon deck the most, in my opinion, is the Mystic Mind build, because not only can they negate, but that Mystic Mind means you can't do nothing with none of the Toon monsters. So this card, Prohibition right here, you slap this bad boy in, if you come across that, you call Mystic Mind, and about 90% of the time, they're gonna just scoop right there on the spot. They usually don't have an out to it, especially if you're going first. If it's already up on the field, they can't out it. So Prohibition, definite at 3 in the side deck. Next card to run at 3 in the side deck is my main man, Nibiru. He is the rock god. 5 or more summons come, you gotta drop this guy. You create the token, special summon him to your field, And then there's that combo with that old comic hand where you just comic hand the token if he has 10,000 attack and you just shablizzle them for game. So Nibiru's definitely nice. If going second doesn't work for you, then you can side this in, go second again, and definitely you're gonna get the W. So Nibiru, nice. Mando too at the same time. And then next card, I'm going into the 3 Ash Blossoms, you guys. 3 Ash Blossoms. There are those decks that do a little bit more searching than you do, or pretty close. So you need something to stop them. So 3 Ash Blossoms, obviously you pick and choose your battles, but you hit them where it hurts. So Ash Blossoms are 3 inside the side deck. My last 3 of in the side deck is I run 3 Dark Ruler No More. When your Orcus opponent starts building a crazy board with Savage Dragon and Ding and all this other crazy monsters, you just slap this down. Going second, activate this. They can't stop it, they can't negate its effects. All their monsters are turned off for a turn. This card is nice and it does wonders. So 3 Dark Ruler No Mores. And then my last 3 ofs, you guys are all 1-ofs, but it's my last 3. So got the 1 Toon Terror, the last Called by the Grave, and the 1 Regeki. Now, the Toon Terror, just in case you need some more stopping power, you always can go into Toon Terror. If you know you're gonna be building, you have good hopes that you're gonna have a Toon Kingdom and a Toon Monster out on your first turn, another Toon Terror definitely will not hurt. Called by the Grave, if you're running a deck again with a lot of hand traps that are trying to stop you left and right, throw that 3rd Called by the Grave to combat it. And then Regeki, a lot of people nowadays do not have an out to Regeki, believe it or not. A lot of effect monsters cannot stop it. Certain ones can, but not a lot of them. And you run this in your side deck just in case something gets hairy out there, and you drop it and it's game, it's GG. So you gotta run the 1 Regeki, you guys. That was it for today's deck profile, but check us out, check out our upcoming videos. We're on the rise. If you guys have Instagram, please follow me at Instagram at MetaBroJ2020. There's a lot of big things coming up for us for the future. Hope you stay tuned for our deck profiles, for our pack openings. We have a lot of stuff, you guys. I can't even name it all. I'm so excited right now, but just make sure you guys stay tuned, okay? Super Meta Bros. This is and has been Super Meta approved. Bye.